Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my last video of 2023. It may be the first one of 2024. Here we're going to talk about my favorite figures that I've had a very good time having during the year of 2023. You may have seen a lot of them. You may not have seen a lot of them. But these are 10 of them that I verily enjoyed, whether I got them here at the end of the year or the ones I got at the beginning of the year. And yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit. And special honorable mention to my main man, Ichigo. Again, I got this sculpt way back when from my main man, Old Boy, but it's been a rough year. We lost Ichigo, my cat, and we're trying to put a lot of love out there. So let's get started on the video. This is no particular order. I'm just going in the order that I pulled them out in, and they're laid on the floor. So let's get to it. First up, we have the Figma Samus Metroid Dread version. Now, this one I've had for months, but I know I only reviewed it here in December. But what's crazy is that I thought that this figure was going to be like the same old Figma standard. I could not have been more wrong. I'm pleasantly surprised by it. I'm thoroughly happy with it. All the new points of articulation, the nice blend of new plastic, just the overall paint job of this figure was utterly fantastic to a point where I kind of got obsessed with it and left that on display to constantly play with it. And it's a beautiful figure. I cannot say that enough. And it's a personal favorite hit towards the beginning of 2024 and the end of my 2023. Even now, under these basic lights, look out, the paint job just shines through and really gives you something nice. Someone also pointed out that you can actually pull the upper torso up just a little bit to add a little bit of extra articulation. It doesn't seem to work out for me, but again, very happy with this figure. Just, oh, so pretty. Look at this. So many new points of articulation. And I was thoroughly surprised while reviewing it that I found this knee swivel, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys laughed at. But yeah, fan favorite right here for me. Next up, we have the SH Figuarts Camerata Geats line. And I chose this line as a whole because the gimmick itself of allowing you to pop and swap heads and torsos and lower body parts have been extremely fun. And it's one of those things where I love Kamen Rider, so it's great that I was able to put the Geats line on here, even if I did miss a few in the beginning, which I'm now backtracking. A lot of them have been all P Bandai exclusive, which is crazy at first because it was a little easier to get it from Japan. But with P Bandai US, it's now, I won't say it's less easier, but it's different because it's not promoted the same. And that's a little frustrating sometimes. But the line itself as a whole has been genuinely fun as hell. I'm going to show you a quick example as I just swap an upper and bottom torso, which has been a pure delight. As you can see here. So now, and we're gonna match up our torso bottoms. And this always gets tricky trying to do this on camera. So I'm gonna try to line it up. There we go. I will take the belt piece from here, line it up, and now we have Panda Boost Magnum, right? So it's stuff like this that will allow you to mix and match, make your favorite combinations. And again, this has been why the line has been extremely fun. This head is from SHF Upgrade, but they are doing an official one through P Bandai with the Grand Prix set. But it's stuff like this where you don't even have to worry about having leftover parts, as you can just literally make another figure from swapping. So here we are with another example. And then we have like an entry form. So again, look at this. It's why I enjoy lines like this, that it's innovative. And it sucks if you have to like build up to your favorite one, but just buying a few of the same things can get you a fun of different combinations as well. Next up, we have the Joy Toy 1/18 scale Ultramarines Tech Marine. Now, while I started off in the 112 scale line of the Joy Toy stuff, the 118 stuff has been blowing things out of the water as they've put out a massive amount of stuff where they share a lot of the same sculpting, but whether you get a bunch of original stuff, is going to be stuff like the Tech Marine, Guillemot. And one thing that 2023 has taught me is that there is so much coming out, I will not be able to have everything. But the stuff that I am getting, I'm pretty happy with, especially stuff like the Tech Marine. A bunch of original cybernetic parts, we have our cool backpacks, we have a bunch of moving parts, and it just proved to me that even if I get into new lines and I don't really know what's going on, I can still enjoy the toys. Now, don't get it twisted though, I've fallen down the rabbit hole of going and checking out a ton of the Joy Toy Warhammer stuff, and just the Warhammer lore in general. But figures like this are massively why I've just come to love the line. It's just really cool. Red is my favorite color. But just one thing 2023 has really taught me, that There's going to be a bunch of stuff, and at this point there's so much coming out. I can probably do a top 10 of every brand, because every brand comes out with more than 10 figures, and easily it still wouldn't even matter because there's so much coming out. But yeah, Techmarines A1, absolutely love it. And try one, please try one, guys. I promise you'll enjoy it. Next up, we have Juri Han from Storm Collectibles Street Fighter line. Now I just absolutely had a brilliant time messing around with her as she moves more fluid. It's been a way fun covering that Taekwondo look for her. She reminds me of Horwang in a lot of ways, just without all the craziness. But it's funny how Horwang also had an eye patch at one point in Tekken. But yeah, I gotta say, man, like, Juri was so much fun to just shoot. And a lot of times I base my top 10s based off what I had fun photographing or what happened at the time. This one was pure fun as I tackled a bunch of different things. And it was just fun because I tried out some new things with her as well too. But yeah, the Storm stuff has been a lot of fun. And I just really wish we had more of it. I guess that's just me fiending for more of it. But I'm patient at the same time too. There's so much stuff coming out. I don't think I can afford everything at once anyway. So yeah, Juri Han, A+. Also, the beautiful effect parts that they've done for her is crazy. I've said it numerous times. I think Storm probably does the best effects. I feel like Mezco does the best weapons, but it's a lot of stuff with a lot of different lines. I like Mafex probably makes the best comic interpretations. There's a bunch of different things that you can bring to the table with a bunch of these different lines. And I feel like combining them all will probably be your best bet. And if you can't do that, I totally understand. But Juri has been A1, especially these really great head sculpts for her. Yeah. Next up, we have the SH Figuarts Chainsaw Man. I had a blast reviewing this guy, but also the crazy articulation reminded me that we can still get crazy articulation as well as a good price point on a figure. And I hope that we continue to get more stuff like this. As you can see, I got a little crazy right out the gate with this. But if you want to get wild, you can see just how we can turn it all up. Still have beautiful butterfly joints, great neck movement, torso movement. It's all there, right? Stuff like this is why I love photographing it, capturing it in a moment. And then even if you wanted to not do that, if you want to do like his iconic pose or just things like this, look at that, right? There's still a ton of different poses you can absolutely do. And I believe one of them is the iconic, like the yell one, right? So look at that. There's a ton of different cool poses you can do, as well as just, the anime was a banger, right? And now it's Jujutsu Kaisen time. But I'm telling you, man, Chainsaw Man was brilliant in its own way. And like I said, it's a lucky thing I can only stick to things that I review because there's so many other cool figures throughout the year. It's crazy. But again, moving on to the next one. Again, please enjoy more anime. Please buy more anime characters. Next up is Mafex Nightwing, which you'll know that I call him Dick Butt because Dick Butt is the greatest. Now, I gotta say, as a Nightwing fan, it is so good to have another Nightwing figure and one that's actually really spectacular in a lot of ways. Mafex did a great job of covering the Jim Lee style of art, but also blending the nice modernization, excuse me, and having great articulation. This is one of those figures where I felt like I didn't have to mod anything, even if it wasn't like crazy, because he still covers a lot of Dick Grayson-like moves. As you can see here, platinum. Oh, I just knocked this whole thing off doing too much. But let's actually try that again. Premium Dick Buttness, right? We have a bunch of acrobatic poses as he can just literally glide backwards, looking really, really solid. So it's tons of stuff that I was just like, it has a Nightwing-like moves, it looks good, it functions good, with the exception of me constantly taking things apart to look at them. This has been a fantastic look at Jim Lee style art. One of the things I'm worried about with Mafex is trying to figure out if they are studying a certain age of characters or if they're just trying to finish certain lines. So the silhouette in this is beautiful because the way the light hit it looks just like a comic book. As you can see, the white streaks like cross hatches, just good, really, really good. But yeah, Mafexes went from a point where at one point I was ready to drop them due to tons of QC issues to now really being one of the best import lines there are. They've come a long way, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. Next up, we have the Storm Collectibles Baki the Grappler. Now, I gotta say, I've waited a long time for Baki figures that are articulated, and with Yujiro coming out soon, I felt it was only right to talk more about Baki. If you haven't watched the series on Netflix, if you haven't watched the old series, please give it a try. It is just Martial Arts JoJo for those of you who need some type of like simplified information. It's just Martial Arts JoJo, trust me. But yeah, man, I love Baki so much, and it's great to see it really getting some shine. The only thing I can hope forward to now is that we get another version of him in different costumes and just with updated ankle movement, because this line deserves even more love, even more articulation, and I'm here for it. Stillman's done a great job of just capturing that sculpt in every which way, to the point where I wish that I can find another Baki so I can just talk about how much more Baki that I want, because look how beautiful this is, really. Again, and then we have like the spiral axe down kick, right? Oof, I would love more Baki. And with Yujiro coming out, I'm gonna probably revisit this as well. It is one of those lines where I just want more. A Dopo would be dope as well. So please, go out, try it. I cannot recommend it enough. One of my favorite series. Now, what would a D-Amazing video be without some Spider-Man? And I gotta say, the SH Figuarts 2099 Spider-Man made it in just at the end of the year, just in time. And despite the having to mod the ab crunch, the movie itself was so good, and I just have so many fond memories of Miguel, especially when he was running everywhere at one point. Tons of cool things at one point, and I hope they kind of incorporate that into the next movie whenever it's not on hiatus. But this is an excellent rendition of Miguel O'Hara, really being stylized but working really, really well. I love the style of this, and it's a great figure. I think probably a cloth cape would have been better, but we'll see what happens if we get another one in the next movie. But this one, excellent. One of the things I'm worried about is if Sentinel decides to do another one, because I know Sentinel's been on, they announce stuff a lot later, they do things a lot later, or if we even get a Mafex one. So I'm very curious about what's going to happen later on down the line with all of the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, because this SH Figuarts version is really, really dope. But we're going to see what happens, because I'm here. If it's Spider-Man stuff, I'm 100% here for it. So cannot wait, hoping for so much more. Listen here, Moonmate is awesome. There's nothing I can say else about it, because listen, Death Star cape, the Vengeance of Moon Knight style of the armor, everything about it screams comic book. And like I said, it's one of those things where I was trying to figure out with both Mafex and Kyoto is that, do they like a certain era of comics, or do they like certain artists? Because when they are choosing a certain style, they really fucking make it work. And I love everything about it. I don't know if you guys know, but I really love this Moon Knight. Jeremy Opinion style art, Rick Miranda, right? Well, it was Hurwitz writing on this, but those two normally team up. But I'm so excited to get more comic book related stuff. It's not even funny. So here's to a beautiful Moonmate, looking really good. I'm hoping that we continue to get more things like this. I cannot talk enough about how beautiful this figure is. Please go check out my review. Check out everybody else's reviews. I don't even want to call my videos reviews anymore, because I like talking about a figure and then doing pretty pictures. That's all there is to it. So I'm not really reviewing it. It's more like I'm just helping you gather information. But with Moonmate, I was excited. I may have gotten ahead of myself. Listen, enjoy the toys, please. Use the information for better. But look at how beautiful this stock cape is holding in this beautiful pose. I cannot express how exciting this is, that I can leave it like this for months, and it's just beautiful all the time. Ah, so exciting. But yes, please go buy more Kyoto stuff. Trust me, it will help with your posing. It'll help with your understanding and engineering of a figure, and both anatomy, because there are a lot of things that technically you shouldn't be able to do, but Kyoto helps you do it. Check it out for real. Dial it in, amp it up. You know what I'm talking about. Last but not least, here we are with the Mafex Scarlet Spider. I have left the PVC Bake Shop sculpt on there, but I gotta tell you, as a Spider-Man and Ben Reilly fan, it's been a great year for him, or a bad year, depending on who you are, because, you didn't like him turn into Chasm. I am absolutely adoring that storyline with Chasm, because there will be a new special with him, figuring out where he goes after the end of the Dark X-Men run, because he's now out of sight of Limbo. So getting this version of Scarlet Spider means we can probably get more Scarlet Spider, more Ben. So I'm hoping we get like the Beyond Corporation version and Chasm in the Mafex format, because this figure has really spoken to me and my 90s comic book love. Yes, I was a fan of the Clone Saga. I know it's cool now. But yes, here we are. Just one of, again, when you are hitting all those nostalgia notes and you are also at a point where Spider-Man is like almost everywhere in your, just everywhere in your feed, it's just one of those cool things that you can just kind of enjoy the old and the new of something. And I feel like this is a nice blend of the two, not just with the PVC Big Shot, but just talking about Ben. I know in the comics he's back with a slightly different sweater, is because this is based off his first appearance, but yeah, man, I absolutely adored this figure. Gave me a lot of great memories. So with that being said, though, I do want to round this out video pretty nicely. I want to tell everybody it's very important that we've had a great time talking about our toys this year. I promise that if I hit 100K, we get these videos, and we are. And I'm really happy that you guys kind of tricked me into it. It has been spectacular and fun. It's been very difficult to choose. But most of all, we've had a great time, like, trying to pick things out. Not actually fun, though, because looking through my bins of stuff drove me crazy. That's not fun at all. But we are at a spectacular time of collecting toys where doing top 10s may not even matter anymore. We may be having to do top 20s next year because everything is just so good. And with all of that being said, please have a happy new year, be safe, and as always, please be good, do good. Drink your water, guys.
Happy New Year!
Later.
Yeah.